Schitt's Creek has been one that's been really, really popular, and just again, like such great messages in these shows, but it just gives us some joy. And I think when we look at it again from a brain science perspective, those elements of being able to toggle away from the stress and into these moments of joy and fun and playfulness, how important that is. So
yeah.
I love talking about it. Thank you. Like, I love your vision for me. And I did write a monologue about that. I just haven't performed it yet. So I'll have to keep you posted how that emerges.
Do that.
But I think,
yeah,
I think it is. I think after doing, I've served as a therapist for over 20 years. So it's like you there's a lot of stories, and you do have a really good eye into the human mind and human perspective. And so of course I wouldn't get up and ever share like people's literal stories or that kind of thing, but I think it's a great teacher.
yeah.
And then just in my own, personality, everything, it's like, if I've just learned to, like, again, you can teach through humor. I think that's another like big motivation for me, is that's how we learn. Research shows we learn when we feel safe, when we feel relaxed, that laughter, humor can actually be really a big catalyst for learning. And I know, like, my students even, it's not that my classroom is a comedy platform, but I think they appreciate that authentic spirit, and that, again, like, we can kind of laugh at life together and, work in a particular way and have a certain climate in the classroom. I think that creativity is well received by my students too.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So what's this third book that you're working on? Can you share anything about that?
I can. I'm so thankful for my partnership with Sounds True. They are just like amazing in the space of just the fusions of psychology and spirituality, and just elevating the human condition. And so the title is, like, I don't think it's public yet, but it's going to come out next year. And it's really about risk taking and how that leads to resilience. So as you can imagine, some of this comedy discussion is in the book, but it really focuses on, how risk is often pitched as, or bravery is pitched as something that, like, risk is like going to lead to disaster. So people sometimes think of, like, gambling or other like high risk behavior. And I think we're taught to live in a space of fear around who we are, or what are people going to think about us. This book really, I think, is going to help people look at the kinds of risks that we can architect. We can architect our own risk choices. And sometimes that might be showing up as our real selves, disclosing things about ourselves, or, standing up against social issues, and looking for, like, our shared humanity. And so I really tackle a lot of pieces around how society is really eroding our well-being, whether we look at, if we're constructing our identity, for example, on how many likes are on our feed, or, just all those kinds of pressures of today, that we're looking at it as, let's architect our own experiences and take chances where they're worth taking to get to that place where we're leading a values-driven life, and a life that's really the one that we're meant to live, not the one that everyone says we should live to be so-called successful.